Alright, hey you guys. So this past weekend, I noticed that, of course, I grew too many starts, which is not a bad thing, but it becomes a bad thing when they are ready to be upplanted and there's nowhere for them to go. So that's when the goal was set. We had to identify a location that had close proximity to water, full sun, and honestly, something that was going to be easy for us to maintain since it was expanded growing space. We settled on right behind the greenhouse. We laid down some fabric netting to just help mitigate the amount of maintenance we had to do with weeding, and we got to work. We laid out two 16-foot cow panels and grabbed cloth pots that we had utilized last year for other crops that still had half of the soil in them. We added any kitchen scraps we had, which in this case was bananas. I'm a huge fan of using banana peels and banana water for all plants. So that went in there before we started adding the trichoderma to ensure that the roots transplanted correctly from these plants when it was time for them to go in. We then grabbed our mushroom compost and topped the cloth pots up to the top with mushroom compost and some sphagnum moss because we had it lying around. We grabbed our nutrients, which in this case was going to be calcium nitrate, magnesium sulfate, and a master blend for tomatoes. And we used a 5-gallon bucket, added all those nutrients, made sure they dissolved, and then watered those in. And now we have a huge grow space, which I'm very excited about. I'm very eager to see if it's going to grow the way my mind envisions it will. But nonetheless, this took us roughly half a day, and we have nearly 30 cloth pots to grow more tomatoes, peppers, and whatever else we can find to go in there. Another task and goal that we have is to grow a lot more potatoes. So my lovely husband is building that potato box there. And I just have to tell you guys, container growing and vertical growing are an option if you do not have a good chunk of land or much space at all. So please don't let that hinder you. There's so much opportunity. I'm just grateful that I get the chance to be on this land, to steward it, to spend time out with nature, and just embark upon this journey of growing our own food. While it started as a hobby and then became more of a necessity, I would say, because our trust in going to grocery stores and trying to find things that didn't have chemicals sprayed on them to process them and to keep them fresh in the stores. I mean, it was just an eye-opener that we can do this, we will do this, and we must do this. So grab your containers and get to work, because growing your food is an amazing experience given to you by the Almighty Creator, and you should take that as a true blessing. So that'll be it for this video. I thank you guys for tuning in and watching, and I hope you were able to glean some helpful insight throughout this container growing. And I guess we will see you back soon when we get these planted.